What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the franchise. We got Shank back. We got Kevin back. Kevin's been a little bit. Welcome back. We were supposed to have Greg here, but he's not coming for now, so maybe next time. But we got a lot of fantasy talk today. I just want to say a couple of things before I told you guys it was all fantasy, but a couple of things have happened. Obviously, the NBA draft is tonight. It looks like Russell Westbrook's going to the Lakers. That's crazy. So, and no one can really shoot on that team, but whatever. Celtics fan.
Super teams.
Yeah, hey, that's Lakers and Nets realistically. Unlike this year, it's just an off year, I guess, in the NBA. Bruins did some things yesterday. NHL free agency didn't do as much as I would have liked them to do. They could have done a little better, maybe more quality than quantity. They kind of went the other route, but what are you gonna do? They're kind of passive with their veterans. So
yeah, I think we're still thin on D. I was hoping they would trade for someone bigger there.
Yeah, they kind of just threw a bunch of 3-year, $9 million deals to a bunch of lefty big defensemen that aren't anything special to see what happens. But I like Nick Foligno. I like him. I like Olmark, I guess. That was a random signing for a goalie, $5 million. So
Swayman.
I don't know what they're going to do with Swayman now. Maybe he's a part of a Jack Eichel deal.
Yeah.
You never know. But anyways, let's move on to fantasy. I just want to throw those things out there. Oh, wait, Red Sox, do something. There you go. That's it. Their MLB trade deadline is Saturday. Yeah. So let's do something, please. There's a lot of things going on with those teams. All right, fantasy football. We're approaching what? Well, your leagues are you do your stuff in April.
We did our draft picks.
Yeah,
no way.
Yeah, they didn't do their draft, but they they know their order. They did the league meetings and everything.
What pick do you have?
12-man league. You're gonna hate it. PPR, I hate it.
But no, I don't mind. I like PPR.
I hate PPR. But 10th overall.
Not for everyone.
10th
overall.
Nah.
We're looking at Eckler.
But it's a keeper league.
I think you're screwed if you don't have one of those top running backs.
But
what is it? Top 7, 8, whatever.
Yeah. I have Eckler, PPR, and then I have Dobbins.
Yeah, he has Dobbins as a keeper in the 6th round. So that's good value, I think.
So.
But we don't really have we're not going to probably figure things out for another couple weeks, I'd say. So we'll see. I mean, we got to start talking about it at some point. If I'm going to do videos like this with each division too, I kind of had to start as early as I did, and it's been a couple of weeks because of Aruba. But
our draft will be here before you know it. So
I know I'm so excited. But anyways, Eagles. We're doing the NFC East. We did the AFC East a couple weeks ago. We're going to do an NFC East now. So we're going to start off probably the worst to best as of last year. So we'll go with the Eagles. I personally, I want to hear what you guys think, but I love this team for fantasy. Because when Jalen Hurts took over for Wentz last year, we saw some things against the Cardinals. He had to come back, and that was crazy fantasy-wise. Yeah, I remember I threw him into one of my lineups. That was huge for me.
I killed you with him.
Yeah, you did. You did. Yeah, Hurts, I mean, hey, he's a running quarterback.
And he looks like he can throw.
Yeah, he has a strong arm. I don't know about short passes and strength-wise, but he can definitely throw it deep. They just drafted the Heisman Trophy winner, Devontae Smith. And, they played together in college for a little bit there. So
they have Travis Fulgham.
Yeah, Fulgham. I forget about Fulgham. They have Devontae Smith, Jalen Reagor's on his 2nd year. They got the tight ends. I mean, I don't know if Ertz is actually going to be there, so we'll see.
First on the depth chart right now, so it's
Goddard's there, and Ertz is probably gone. But either way, you still have a pretty good tight end. You got I think they improved their offensive line a little bit. They got a couple guys. Miles Sanders is starting to become a veteran now, so we'll see what he does.
Is healthy too right now.
Yeah, their center Jason Kelce, and their defense is a little better. So I don't think it's good enough, which is great for fantasy for a quarterback, because if their defense is giving up all those points, there you go. So what do you guys think? I don't know. What do you think about the Eagles? Tell me what you think about their season, too. Are they going to be any better? Are they pushing for the playoffs?
I don't see them finishing, 1st or 2nd in the division. I think there's still a lot of young, unproven talent there. Mm-hmm. Miles Sanders hasn't proven yet that he can stay healthy for a full season. That's true. There's still some red flags there. I'm sort of lukewarm on them, I would say. Maybe not as hot as as you guys are, but I could see them finishing probably 3rd in the division.
Yeah.
8 or 9 wins, sort of hovering around 500, one of those teams.
Yeah.
I think they're going to be very volatile. That's usually what you see
100%,
with young players.
Yeah. For me,
and we hate Philly here, so that's awesome.
Yeah. So the huge thing for me is that I'm just a huge Jalen Hurts fan, so that's the bad thing I guess out of it. But I think overall, this whole division, it's kind of like a throw up. Like, maybe I could personally see Washington first, and I could see the Eagles as second. I don't even see the Cowboys making that far. They didn't. I know Dak happened last year, but other than that, I don't see them. Zeke didn't prove himself well last year at all. Forget fantasy-wise, but actual football-wise too. And they don't look good. Now they have Gallup, Amari Cooper, and CD.
Yeah. I mean,
So I see them as like, I can see them second.
yeah. I mean, with the Eagles, like, I wouldn't even I think they could finish last. I just think for fantasy-wise, like, maybe not against Washington, and I guess the Giants have a pretty solid defense, but definitely Washington. Like, I don't know what he's gonna look like, because they look like they could beat anyone with that defense. Like, if they can beat like the quarterback
Like
up,
what they did to
like
Tampa Bay.
Fitzmagic is a huge upgrade. For
it
them.
is,
Like,
which is crazy to
it's
think about.
Such an upgrade
Yeah.
over the QBs they've
Yeah.
had the past couple of
I
years.
think
Like, that's
they're-
why I like them. I
think the
they're gonna win
QB,
again.
like you were saying, was Kirk Cousins. And I think that, what was that? Like, how many years ago? It was like
It's
8
been
years.
I don't think it's that long. Maybe
I was-
4 or
I-
5 years now. It's been.
More.
I
I
think.
was a senior in high school.
Oh, yeah.
So it's at least 7-8 years ago.
Really? He's been
Think about
has
that.
it been in Minnesota that long? Whatever.
Maybe.
Anyways, it's been a while. You're right. But yeah, Haskins didn't work. But yeah, the Eagles, it's like they're going to play from behind. They're probably going to finish at least 2 or 3 games under 500. He's going to have to throw the ball. He's going to have to use his legs. They're going to have to try to make comeback wins. You love that in a mobile quarterback. Like, that's awesome. You know, his defense is not good, which is great for the quarterback fantasy-wise.
Yes.
You can never go wrong with a rushing QB.
Exactly.
That rushing upside is always a safe floor. I think he's a good QB to go for if you're punting on QB. You're not going for
Right.
any of the top ones.
Right.
He's a good one to take later in the draft.
Yeah, and Devontae Smith isn't going too like high either, as far as I know. So if you could get him as like your first receiver off the bench, plus Hurts as your quarterback, try to get that stack, and maybe some magic happens, it could probably win you your league potentially. The way they play from behind.
This season overall is that there's so many QBs viable this year.
Yeah.
Like almost every team, other than a couple teams, almost 32 teams, their QBs almost are viable.
Yeah.
So someone like Jalen Hurts, who some people in your league may think it's too volatile, maybe not good. You can steal him the 10th, 11th round.
Yeah.
He'll have some week-winning performances.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Look, last season,
But he'll have some week losing.
Last season, I don't know about you, if you had him at all on your team, but me and Vinny both had him in different leagues. For me, he was averaging almost like 25 points after his start.
Yeah, I think I used him for like a week or two in our in Mark's league, or maybe that was the Gen. I'm thinking it might have been the Gen. Oh yeah, it was definitely the Gen. I lost every quarterback in that league. Everyone just kept getting hurt. I lost Dak. I lost Burrow. It was awful. But yeah, so the Eagles, they have the players. You're gonna draft their players. You're gonna draft Goddard. You're gonna draft Hurts. You're gonna draft Sanders. You're gonna draft Devontae. Maybe Rager's like a waiver wire guy, but I could see him on some teams. We'll see.
No fab needed.
Yeah, probably not. So those are the guys you're looking for on that team. Who did I say next? Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this was the third place team in that division, but they probably should have won the division. Maybe like second.
They would have if Dak didn't get in.
Yeah.
100%. Also, those games that Dak was around, they also blew some games, if you remember.
Yeah, well, their defense is horrible. It's gotten a little better. It's not vastly improved.
They picked, I think, all defense.
Yeah.
The most
but those are rookies, you know, like they got, and one of them was a linebacker, which is like the position they probably needed the least on that defense.
You can never have enough depth though on your front seven.
That's fair. It's just I don't see it being like all of a sudden a top 20 defense. Like they're definitely not a defense you're going to use.
No.
And he's gonna have to throw. Dak's definitely gonna have to throw. I don't know how much he's going to be able to use his legs now that he has that. That was a really bad ankle injury. But that's not that bad of an option either. He's a really good thrower. So, and he has great receivers. So, is their tight end still like Blake Jarwin? That's
Jarwin.
That's
They're
irrelevant.
Be like 4th, 5th on the team in targets.
Yeah, that's irrelevant.
Tight ends are irrelevant.
Yeah, they improved the offensive line. They did improve. That was a focus to his defense and O-line because they recognized that that's what they needed the most. Finally,
especially with Dak right now.
Yeah,
They need to give him time.
so I think Zeke actually does have a bounce back year for sure.
Early training camp reports are he's lost some weight. Looking
exactly.
Well, he looked great until Dak got hurt. Like, and then obviously, what are you gonna do? You have Andy Dalton as your quarterback.
But you guys been in fantasy. Sorry.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
But you guys been in fantasy as long as I have, if not longer. Tony Pollard kills Zeke's value.
Well, yeah, he's probably one of the higher, I'd say, cuffs now, which does.
He does take.
Yeah, he's a very valuable cuff.
Yeah.
Other than cuff, not this past season, the season before, he used to out touching Zeke some games too.
I also think they were sort of managing Zeke's touches down the stretch. Once the season was done for, once Dak got injured, there was no reason to give him that volume in a
I'm not talking about last season. I'm talking about like 2 seasons ago.
Yeah, I mean,
even last year, though, Pollard was taking 100%. A lot of touches.
Yeah, they've slowly incorporated him into that offense. Like, it makes sense that, like, he's not like Kareem Hunt level to Nick Chubb, but it's like, I put him higher. I put him like Alexander Madison. Like, I put him up there with that, He's something like that as a cuff. He probably does a little bit more in standalone value than Madison does.
100% because he has a catching.
Right. So there's that, but Zeke's a first-round pick everywhere. Yeah. Dak is probably right now. 7th, 8th round. Yeah, quarterback-wise, he's probably like the 5th or 6th quarterback you're keeping your eye on, just because he might break the passing yards record.
He was on
the amount that he's gonna have to throw.
I think that's a little too high.
You think so? They said he was on track last year. If it keeps up again, like I said, the defense did improve, but
now I would say he's more like closer to 10th.
10th? You think so? Then 5th or 6th quarterback, 6th, 7th?
Yeah, there's a bunch of QBs. Yeah. I would take all the rushing QBs.
Well, yeah, you take Mahomes.
Allen. Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray. I would even take Hurts before I took
Really?
Dak.
Okay.
Just because of his rushing upside.
I can respect that. Hey.
Dak's not doing any running this
Yeah. I just didn't think you thought
Tom
of him
Brady,
like that.
I take over him.
Yeah, for sure. Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Josh Allen.
Right?
Josh Allen.
See, that's already like
that's fair. Yeah, that's
right
fair.
there.
I mean, hey.
Ryan Tannehill, you can make that argument with Julio and AJ Green.
100%.
Yeah. I didn't think about it that way. No, that's a good point. I mean, hey, if Dak Prescott's like the 10th quarterback going off the board, it's going to be a fun draft.
But that's what we were saying earlier. It's a very deep quarterback.
Yeah.
Everyone's viable, more or less.
Yeah, it's not worth really.
I'm going to remember that you think of Hurts that highly for when we're drafting. I'm going to remember that.
For the record, I picked Lamar Jackson 2 years ago and Kyler Murray last year. So I've been hitting.
Yep.
I've been hitting on my running QBs lately.
Yep, and I took Mahomes and dropped them that first year. Yeah. Don't want to talk about that. Anyways, the receivers, the heart of that offense, pretty much in fantasy, everyone's talking about all the time.
So I don't see, like, when you look at it team-wise for the receivers, I don't think either of them, like, I'm talking about CD and Amari specifically, I don't think either one of them are going to give you, I'm not thinking PPR, so that's why.
Okay.
So don't worry about that. But I don't see any of them being like a straight-up wide receiver one value on your team at all.
That's fair, I guess. I mean, Dak loves Amari.
He
loves him. So I don't know where he's going right now in drafts. Was he like third round? Probably early to mid third round.
Health, like always.
Yeah.
If he stays healthy, he can be that borderline wide receiver one.
Yeah.
I don't think he has like a top 5 wide receiver outside, but like,
especially with CD there.
He can get close to top 10.
Yeah.
They take away.
I agree with you. But I don't put him even not borderline one.
Maybe. Right.
They take away from each other. That's the thing.
That's the problem.
I personally would rather draft CD Lamb a round or two later, or Gallup several rounds later.
Gallup like 10th.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Gallup's going down. Yeah, Gallup's down.
I like him as a late round pick because if either one of those top receivers get injured, he's gonna get a lot of volume
anymore. Either,
yeah,
right?
I look at him around the same as like Devontae Smith. Like you're probably taking him as the first receiver off your bench. Like bye weeks, struggle. Speaking of bye weeks, I didn't think of that. I saw it before. They have a week 14 bye now. There's another. Now we got to deal with that. There's a week 14
I still
bye.
haven't wrapped my head around the scheduling
17?
implications of an extra season.
Yeah, because now in fantasy, because if you're in a 12-team league, you played the first 2, week 1 and week 2. You played those teams week 13 or 12 and 13.
So it's another team.
Right now, it's just yeah. Now you only played that first week an extra time. It's weird. Right. It's gonna get weird. It's gonna be weird to get used to, but it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Based when the time comes.
It's gonna make them a lot more money. That's for sure. Daily fantasy and all that. But anyways, yeah, Cowboys. Yeah, you're taking Dak, you're taking Zeke, you're taking CD, you're taking Amari, and you're probably taking Gallup very late in your draft. Yeah, so that's offensive. You're not touching their defense. nowhere near touching their defense. You're excited when the Eagles, like I said, go up against their defense. Oh, that's a shootout.
That's what I'm
when
saying.
the Eagles and Cowboys play, Hurts and
That's the other thing.
Woo.
Outside of the Washington football team, there's not really any good defenses in that
That's
division.
why
yeah,
I'm saying
the Giants
So
were doing okay.
There's going to be a lot of
Giants
shootouts.
were doing good.
They were solid, but I think that was a fluke. I think
was a fluke,
Washington
that's what I'm
definitely has like they're the best defense in the league
Bro,
almost.
their-
I'd say
their defense
they're up
is
there. Yeah.
juiced.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They drafted all those young guys. They signed a couple guys. They
They
put a
saw
lot of money
Fuller,
into
right?
that. Yeah. Oh no. I think he went back
he go
to.
back?
I think he went to the Chiefs. Didn't
But
he?
they had a replacement, I think, anyways.
I don't know. Did they sign Fuller back? Oh, the other Fuller. There's two of them.
Yeah,
I forgot.
I think.
They brought one. Yeah, one's on Washington, and one went back to the Chiefs, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. After the Bears cut him. Yeah. So, or the Broncos. The Broncos. So, yeah, they have the defense. They got the young guys up front. That's gonna be tough when they have to pay all them. Chase Young, second year now. Like, come on. That's a great defense. But anyways, let's get back. Let's go to the Giants. Like we said, their defense is it's solid. You probably don't start with them
Middle
in
of the pack,
fantasy.
like 15.
Yeah, like
Right
you could.
now,
There's streaming defense for sure when they play a pretty gross offense. So you want to keep them in mind for that. But for the most part, they really didn't. It didn't help them make the playoffs. One team made the playoffs with that horrible record because of their defense, Washington, and the other didn't with the Giants. That's just how it is. So I wouldn't be too hyped about them with that. But they did sign Kenny Golladay, so they do have a receiver that's legitimately draftable now. I don't know about Daniel Jones.
They went from Golden Tate.
Yeah, that might be the
Kenny.
worst quarterback in the division right
sure.
now. You put Fitzmagic over
I would.
Daniel Jones
Daniel
for
Jones,
sure.
I think, is not that good.
No.
He turns the ball over a lot. That's why I'm not as high on really anyone on the Giants. This is my hottest take for this episode. I think Saquon Barkley's at best like a late first-round pick. I don't think he belongs in those top 6, 7 running back.
People are going to take him, even though he's out.
People will, but I don't really. I think he has upside, sure, but he's coming off an injury. They've already talked about easing him into the season, so you're already losing a couple weeks there. Daniel Jones, if you look at Saquon Barkley's pass catching numbers with Daniel Jones versus Eli Manning, way fewer catches. Daniel Jones just doesn't dump the ball off as much as Eli did. He turns the ball over a lot, which is, lowers your touchdown upside. On top of that, you have Galladay, which I think is probably good for Saquon, helping stretch the field. But ultimately, I don't think Saquon's going to get you like that top high-end first-round value.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, in the first round, you never want to take a guy that's going to lose you your league. And I think it's more so, I get what you're saying for sure with what Saquon, what you think his stats are going to be, but like, how can you even trust him beyond, like, how do you even get to that point? You got to be able to trust him to stay healthy.
Right.
I love him, but he had a great first year, amazing first year for him, but it's like.
And again, that was with Eli.
Right.
Yeah.
So is this guy going to stay healthy or what is he going to do? If it's, I don't know, who would you take? You're taking CMC, you're taking Henry, you're taking Dalvin, Kamara Kamara's
still up in
for
there.
sure.
Yeah,
Over
I take
Saquon,
Kamara
yeah,
too.
100%.
Yeah.
Over Saquon.
I'm not going to be
sure.
happy about it though, because I mean,
Yeah.
again, we're not talking about that division, but like now that Breeze is gone, I've said this multiple times. I don't know if I like Kamara. He still did pretty solid.
He's proven in the past, though, that he can put up numbers.
Look what
Yeah.
he did in
with
the
anyone at
finals,
QB.
though.
That was with Breeze though.
Yeah.
Again, when he was gone with Taysom Hill starting, or
Well,
he still
But
averaged.
you say Breeze, but like it's not like Breeze has looked great the last year or
No.
two.
No,
Anyways.
I'm not saying for
Been brutal.
Breeze's, not for Breeze, but for Kamara, I don't
It's
know what it
different.
is. You know what I mean? Like, it's just,
it's up in there.
yeah.
But you can put
yeah.
Chubb up there too.
Yeah, I probably,
I'd take Chubb over Saquon 100%.
That's what
yeah,
I'm saying.
Chubb, Jonathan Taylor, probably.
Probably
yeah.
over Saquon.
Maybe
yeah.
Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones, I would.
Hey.
No Williams in the backfield taking away touches.
You have AJ Dillon maybe on the
Yeah,
Yeah,
ground
but
game.
he can't catch like Jamal Williams
Yeah.
can, though. Yeah. Hey.
Obviously, Rogers and Devontae Adams.
Yeah,
are
they're back,
They're all
so,
back. They
yeah.
added Randall Cobb, so I like Aaron
Yeah.
Jones over Saquon.
I'm a huge Aaron Jones guy, so
Yeah. It's like
If
that's
Najee
7
Harris
or 8.
gets CEH hype, maybe he jumps up to a certain
I wouldn't
point.
take him over Saquon.
I
No.
won't,
but
but some people might.
yeah.
Some
But
people
it's
might.
close.
He's going to
Yeah.
push his way into the first round, I think.
But that kind of shows my point
Yeah.
that Saquon
Yeah.
is getting a little bit overdrafted. I think.
Yeah. If I'm at 7 and he's there, I'm happy to take him. But if I'm there at like 4, I don't know if I take him.
No,
you know what I mean?
No chance.
Yeah.
That's the problem. That's what I'm scared of. Someone like me at 10th, somehow he slips. I have to take him.
Right, yeah, exactly.
But I don't want to take
Yeah,
him.
he's a
It's like-
player you're not going to get like really hyped about
Yeah,
drafting.
I'm
in the
proceeding
first
with
round.
caution for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
So
I
there's
may even
that.
leave him on the board.
Yeah.
There, I swear.
Yeah.
I'd rather take
Another
Chubb.
thing, sorry that we didn't talk about. They had the 31st ranked offensive
Yes.
line last year.
Yeah.
Pro Football Focus has them 32nd ranked going into this year.
Yeah,
That's very important for running back.
we forgot about a guy we already mentioned, Zeke. Take Zeke ahead of him.
Yeah.
I don't think we mentioned Zeke, right? When
No,
the
we didn't.
running backs.
The
Yeah,
only
so there you
great
go.
spot I really seen that offense, and I don't like Evan Ingram. I hate Evan Ingram. But Yahoo was saying towards the end of the season, right before playoffs started, in the regular season, he was the most heavily targeted tight end. He had more targets than Waller. Even.
Evan Ingram, I know it's not the same draft capital.
But also you have Galladay before I keep on going.
Evan Ingram is the Joe Mixon of tight ends.
He is,
Not,
yeah.
like, you
Well
take
said.
him every year. You're like, okay, oh, maybe he'll give me something. I didn't spend like a huge like draft pick on him. I got him in the 10th round, but like then there's no other tight ends because you waited so long and you took Evan Ingram and he does nothing. And now Kyle Rudolph's there on top of it. So I know he's old and slow.
He's
but,
frustrating to own because he's one of those players who does just good enough that you're
You have
afraid
to
to
keep
like
him.
cut him or
Right.
not trade him. or-
Right. He gets you like 7 points a
Yeah.
week sometimes. And you're like, oh, it's tight end, like everyone else is going off. But
He does just enough to make you think that big week is coming.
yeah. It's just
The
tight end
teams.
is so tough. But Galladay, I mean, he's not going to be the pick that he was last year
That
for
injury
sure.
was also bad. That's another thing.
Yeah, he's a little
He went
injury
back
prone
and forth,
too.
back and forth all
Yeah,
last season.
and but his draft capital going into the year was mid to late second round pick,
yeah.
and that was with Matthew Stafford. Now it's Daniel Jones. He's probably, what would you say, mid to late 4th round? I'd say that's probably where I'd feel
Possibly.
comfortable
Yeah, you
taking
put
him.
even
Maybe
Will
even
Fuller
later.
above him.
Yeah, that's
Depending on how your draft
That's your
goes, if
range.
there's still other good receivers there, if
yeah.
everyone's going like running back heavy early.
right. Sterling Shepard, I probably, for his value of where he's going, I probably like him the most. If
I don't
anything,
know about Slayton, maybe. Slayton did better than Shepard last year.
yeah, I mean Slayton and Galladay are very similar
Similar,
though.
that's
That's the
the
thing.
problem. Yeah.
They're like, Slayton's not as big as Galladay, but they do the same things. Like they're deep threats. They're like not mid receivers. Like they don't run over the middle, but they're like in the back a little bit more.
Like
Like
20
they'll do
yards
slants,
out in.
right? But it's a deep slant.
Within
Like they're
the
deep
numbers,
slant
yeah.
receivers. So it's like I feel like Sterling Shepard is going to benefit a lot from that, especially in PPR.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to draft anyone on that team really. Like I'm not
Even
not
Saquon.
comfortable
There's
with
no
anyone.
one I love drafting unless they really fall.
Yeah, it's really kind
It's
of
tough.
that team's kind of a
But keep that in
crapshoot
your
for
mind.
fantasy.
Evan Ingram had the most targets last season.
Yeah,
At
of
tight end.
all the players in that offense, I'm probably gonna end up with him on my team because it's a good value. I think it's a good value, and I'm gonna get frustrated, and he's gonna get hurt because he gets hurt too.
Ooh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like
Very
Concussions
I'm
all
surprised
the
he's even
time.
still on that team. I thought he was like gonna be gone by now. Whatever. No one's touching Daniel Jones. Isn't even like at this point
Do not
as we
draft
speak.
us.
Yeah, he's not even really like a bye-week filler quarterback at this point. Like, I do not want to touch anything on that offense as of right now. Again, Saquon in the 7th, 8th pick, I'd take him and I'd be happy about it. Not third. We had the top 3 set, but like 4th, 5th, I'd probably be like, you know what? I'll take one of these other guys. But like if I'm the 7th or 8th pick and he it's been like that the last couple drafts. You're the 7th, 8th pick. This guy's like, he's probably falling to me here. Like Mark ended up with Kamara at 5. Like that's, or right? No.
Yeah, something like that.
You had 5 and you
No.
took CEH. I had
Yeah.
4 and I took
Oh, you-
Henry.
yeah,
So he
yeah.
had 6. He's like, I'll take Kamara at 6, and it worked out. Like that's just how it is. Like that's what
that's what's
Saquon
gonna
is to me this year. That's just how it is.
Saquon has that component, like
Well,
we
he-
said earlier that. Sorry,
Sorry,
like
go
we
ahead.
said earlier that they're gonna ease him in, right? So you lose that, and fantasy wise, that's let's say 2 to 3 weeks of like uncertainty, and you're losing games. You could lose games.
Right.
That's your first overall pick.
Right. It's just
And you can't afford it with more weeks too now because
Yeah.
of placement.
it's just frustrating because he can be the number one running back for sure. Even with the abysmal offensive
Yeah.
line, like he's shown it. Like he can be. I
He's
just
a
don't know
dog.
if he can
Yeah.
right now, like this year and whatnot. So that's tough. But I love him. I still love him. I love Saquon. So who are we going on next? We're already on Washington, huh? Okay. Washington. This is the 4th person missing does, I guess. Washington football team. Still don't have a team name. Are they going to be the Washington Guardians? Oh,
Everyone's the Guardians.
Cleveland Guardians, Washington. What are they? I don't even know what they're going to be. Anyways, Washington football team. They got Ryan Fitzmagic there. He's doing, he's doing his thing in Miami the past few years. He's fantasy relevant. He's keeping the receivers fantasy relevant there. So I don't know if the offense is better than it was in Miami last year. Maybe the running.
So.
Maybe the running. Oh yeah. Well,
I think he has a better supporting cast than he did.
You have Curtis Samuel now too on that team.
Yeah.
Curtis Samuel, Terry McLaurin.
Logan Thomas was a beast.
Yeah, your number one receiver and your number one running. I guess that's all you really need. Those two are probably better. So
Antonio Gibson, J.D.
McKissick is gone.
Oh, yeah, he's gone.
He left? J.D. McKissick? Where'd he go?
I think he's on Kansas City now.
No,
that's Jerick McKinnon.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
I don't know if he left.
So no, he didn't.
I don't think he left. No.
So you have those two running backs.
Yeah.
Both good.
This might be the best offense he's had.
Probably in his career,
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, and it's the best quarterback they've had. It's like,
I'm telling you, they're doing big things this year. They're going to get like 10 wins. Watch.
Bro,
I would be surprised.
10, 11 wins. I could
that
see
with
it.
Heineke.
against Brady.
Well, he's waiting. He's ready and waiting. So
No, but that's what I'm saying. Fitzmagic, literally gonna be magic this season. You can start him every week, in my opinion. Because think about it, their defense is so good. If their defense is able to stop the other team's offense, it's all offense, even if he stinks.
Fitz has just been so frustrating because he definitely has the ability, and I'm saying this literally about a 40-year-old quarterback, and it's like it seems like he does better when he's the replacement than the starter.
True.
Like he comes in for Tua last year and he lights it up, and then he starts and he's awful. I don't know. It's tough. He's very hot and cold when he's the starter, but it's like a guarantee when he's the like he's reliever quarterback basically. Like it drives me crazy. But again, best receiver Terry McLaurin he's ever had. The best quarterback. It goes hand in hand. Curtis Samuel is going to be the Swiss Army knife in that offense. He's like the number 2 option, receiver option. He's never had that. And he's getting paid, so they're going to have to give it to him. Logan Thomas just got paid, so they're invested into him at tight end. And he was a beast.
He's nasty.
He's a beast, yeah.
I invested in him
he's the best tight end in that division, for sure, I'd say. Maybe Goddard? I don't know. Goddard's probably...
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Probably is.
I'd say all around, he's probably the best. Goddard can definitely take that from him. Yeah. I think he's the one with the most potential
he's in the best situation.
But right now, it's Logan Thomas. Best receiver in that division is Terry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say so.
He's
Over
the one
Amari.
I draft the highest.
Yeah. So yeah.
Anyways, Terry McLaurin's going mid to end second round.
Yeah. He deserves it. So there's that. Antonio Gibson. I don't know. The whole thing with him last year was he wasn't like, they didn't think he was like a 3-down back.
McKissick.
Like he was more of a receiver. No, Gibson.
I know, but he ruined it for him for the catching back situation.
Yeah. McKissick there is definitely that hinders a lot. That's why Antonio Gibson.
Keep in mind though, his catches went up a lot like throughout the course of the season.
Right.
100%. That's true.
He was a rookie. Rookies always sort of, or usually are eased into the pass catching.
Yeah.
I think he'll have a little bit more of the workload this season.
Right. It's just tough. Like you can't ignore it. McKissick's like one of the best pass catching backs in the league.
There's 2 other things I was analyzing about that. I think Gibson is going to do nasty. The only thing I'm kind of skeptical of, I could even put him above Saquon. I love Gibson.
Really?
I could see him value-wise. Very like out of the blue, but I could value more. He's already going, he's going first, like after the first 4 picks in the second. So my only thing is that goal line, your touchdown dependency on him, I think is lower. Logan Thomas, for them last season, towards the end of the season, they paid him, ended up showing up that he can get touchdowns. The guy got 2 touchdowns for like 2-3 straight games in a row, right? McKissick, catching back scenario if you go double running back formation. And then also now with Fitzmagic can run a little. So there goes your red zone option.
Breaking news.
Dude. Anthony Rizzo to the Yankees.
Whoa.
We were gonna get him. I thought the Red Sox were gonna get him. What are the Yankees are loading up on lefties, I guess now, because everyone was bashing them. They think they're contenders. I'm pissed. I wanted Rizzo. Red Sox need a first base. Sorry, I'm like throwing it all off, but like it's live, it's live. Come on, man. What are we doing? The Red Sox are sitting on their hands, man. They're sitting on their hands. They're like the division leader. What are we doing? Oh, whatever. I'm sorry.
They're not showing a lot of faith in the team right now.
Chaim Bloom, man. What are you doing, man? You don't have to go get a starter or reliever, but like I don't want to see Frenchie Cordero at first base anymore. Like it's disgusting. Like who even is that? It's whatever. Anyways, I'm sorry. That just
That's right. Let it out.
Yeah.
I'm just you know, I'm
okay to
Red
be
Sox.
upset.
I'm a baseball like heavy Red Sox guy, and like I was convinced like that was the guy. You know, like I was convinced that's who the Red Sox were gonna get, and they just didn't do anything. They just
Can't buy into those rumors, man.
I know.
That's how they get
It's just
you.
like it just matched up so perfectly. That was the biggest need in the field for
Those
them.
are always the trades that don't
I
happen.
know.
The ones that
But the
are
fact
too
that
good
he
to
went
be
to the
true.
Yankees, like he didn't go anywhere else. He went to the Yankees, and they're not going to get Scherzer. He's going to San Diego. Like, all right. Well, I'm sorry.
Well, that's probably why the Yankees in part traded for him, was to keep him away from the Sox.
Yeah,
Could have been a
that's
bidding war
that's
between
true.
them.
Probably.
That's true. I don't know how you fumbled that at all. Whatever. On to the next rumor, I guess. But yeah, I'm sorry. What were you saying?
But basically what I was saying is that Gibson, I think, is get his yardage. He can run the ball, no questions asked.
Right.
Only thing, to keep it brief again, is that red zone opportunity, I think he kind of is losing out because McKissick, like if they go double running back formation on the goal line, 5-10 yards out, red zone overall, Logan Thomas became more established as a red zone target.
Yeah.
And now you can even do like sweeps with Curtis Samuel. We've seen like wildcat formation sweeps with Curtis Samuel last year in with the Panthers.
You see that with everyone.
Yeah.
That's a heavy regular in the NFL now.
Right.
So
And then last thing, Fitzmagic can kind of roll out of the pocket and get red zone touches too.
yeah,
So
yeah, for his age, he can still run a little bit.
yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
yeah.
So that's where I see as kind of a problem, maybe for touchdown dependency. But he will, I personally think, like 80 to 100 yards a game,
Yeah.
maybe pushing. With
Yeah,
some
if
catches.
I get him mid to late second round, I'm happy.
Yeah.
If I get him as my second running back.
Yeah, the thing is, I just don't know if I like him. I like Antonio Gibson. I just don't know if I'm as convinced to take him there. You know, like early second round, no way. Maybe mid to
Right,
late, but
yeah.
it's like,
Well, you're running out of options then.
I know
Yeah,
already.
he just really strikes me as last year's like
Running
Miles
back-
Sanders.
Running back gets really thin
Thin
really
after
quick
second.
Yeah.
after like second round.
He just really strikes me as a Miles Sanders kind of like last year.
Yeah,
You know,
a
not
good
health wise. But actually, he was kind of banged up too last year, Antonio
but
Gibson.
he played.
But it's just like the way that the team's built is, yes, like they're built for ground and pound because their defense, like their defense, their quarterback isn't the best, but he can get the job done. Like as long as he's like securing the ball, which Fitzpatrick hasn't really done in his career. He likes to turn it over a lot, but
Here's another thing. They're changing the offense. They said the whole playbook
Yeah.
for the offense now.
yeah, it's just Antonio Gibson. I don't think he's built for the ground and pound kind of running back style.
He could.
He's not like a huge guy though. Like
No.
he's athletic. Like he's
Yeah.
built for sure, but he's not like McKissick. McKissick's small, but he's not like, I'm not saying he has to be Derrick Henry, but he's not even really in like
He's in the
between
middle.
he
that,
has
you
some
know.
tackle breaking ability.
He
though.
does, but it's
He
like
showed some flashes last
I don't know
year.
if he has like wearing down the defense, like getting like multiple carries at the end of a game kind of like build though. You know what I
But
mean?
we're not
Like,
looking for Bo Jackson. They don't need that.
well, I mean, if you're a fantasy football player, you kind of like those guys because if they build up their rushes, maybe he breaks one out and he runs for a touchdown. You know, like I don't know if he's built for that in the long run of a season, a ground and pound running back. You know, I do like him. I'm not saying I'm going to avoid him altogether, but I just wouldn't be surprised. You know, I wouldn't be surprised at all. But they're not going to be playing from behind for the most part.
Well, the
So-
one thing he has going for him was with a good defense, they're probably going to be in good game scripts for him running.
Exactly.
Right,
They want
yeah.
to run down the clock.
Yeah.
Right. The other thing too, though, that you have to keep in mind is again what were they? What was their record at the end of last year? They were obviously under 5. It was 7-9, right?
Yeah.
They,
7-9.
They won the division at 7-9, and division winners play each other. So as great as their defense is, you still got to play Brady, right? Tampa. No, I'm sorry. New Orleans won. Wow. That's actually a huge break for Washington. You'd rather play New Orleans
For
than.
sure.
But New Orleans is still New Orleans. Like you got to play them. You got to play the Packers. You got to play who won the NFC West? Rams or Seattle? Seattle, I
Rams.
think. The Rams end up winning
Seattle,
it.
I think.
Everyone was
I
so
can't-
close.
Yeah.
Either one, it's one of those two, and you got to play one of. You know what I mean? Like it's not as easy as it sounds. Like on paper, as good as their defense is, it's a hot offensive league. The refs, the league prefers to see offense. So
But their defense is kind of like the bruising type too.
It
That's
is.
the thing.
It
like
is.
they'll make. I think their defense is like forget them.
Their defense is going to get a lot of turnovers, and that's
Right.
going to get the offense a lot
They're
of
young.
Right,
extra.
yeah.
They're young. That's the thing. And like their other positions that are like their highlight players, other than their young players, they're like kind of like, I watched enough of them last year. They will literally like, I feel like they're gonna bruise you up. It's not like easy defense. It's not like you have Jalen Ramsey. You know, he's just a stud. He's gonna do whatever he is. They're gonna make you work for every yard. I think.
Right. Yeah.
They have something to prove based off last season.
You're obviously going to take their defense, but you just look at the strength of fantasy football. You have to look at strength of schedule, and it's like I'm trying to think of a comparison. Like Herbert last year. Like, yeah, the Chargers were horrible the year before they drafted him. They draft him. And I'm not saying this is the reason, because you're going to still see the same thing, because they weren't even that good this past year, record-wise. They played the worst teams pretty much all around each division, around the AFC, and whoever else they played, and Herbert went nuts. It's going to be like that with, like, Trevor Lawrence this year. Like, he's going to play some of the worst defenses. Like, he's going to play the Jets. Trevor Lawrence versus the Jets is like, you're streaming that 100%. You know what I mean? So it's the opposite for Washington. They got to play the best teams in each division, and they were the worst division winner out of all those best teams. So it's like,
it's a fair point.
Yeah, you know, it's.
I get what you're saying.
It's kind of gross, but at the same time, their defense is really good. So I can't deny them that.
I mean, they're the most talented team in that division.
Yeah, for sure. They're probably winning that still.
Yeah.
You know, they're still probably winning.
And
that
now
division.
I guess like with just the addition of Curtis Samuel, I know it sounds stupid, but that's like alleviates some pressure off the defense too. Now they don't have to double.
He's a
McLaurin.
big upgrade over all the
100%.
like secondary receivers.
I don't
they had
remember
last
who their
year.
second.
I don't know. I don't
yeah.
necessarily know if you have to, if that means like there's less double teams on McLaurin, because I don't think Curtis Samuel's that guy. Like he's definitely solid, but he's not that
But
guy.
they're both deep threats. That's
Right,
not-
but they're going to use him. They're going to use him because he got paid. They have to use him. And Ron Rivera obviously likes him, so that was his guy in Carolina before Robbie Anderson got there. Well, Ron Rivera was gone, but still, you know what I mean. So he knows him well, and it seems like all these teams besides the Giants, we kind of like most of their players. Like Logan Thomas, what would you say? He's like
your fifth, sixth best tight end in the league, to be honest, because of John and Hunter
Fantasy-wise?
Henry. Because I already know
if those two were solo, not like together,
them being on the same team ruins both their values.
We talked about it last time. Yeah. We said if like it was just Jonnu, then he's probably top. He's probably the fifth tight end himself.
If
it's Hunter Henry,
Kelsey, Kittle,
Waller,
Andrews, maybe
Hawkinson.
I think
Hawkinson,
maybe. No, not Pitts. No, not Pitts. Not maybe not
Pitts.
yet.
Not
No.
rookie.
So
not
you're looking at
rookie.
5'6", like what I said more or less.
Yeah,
with some room for error.
Yeah.
Hey, so I mean, Washington football team, they got two guys going in the second round right now with Gibson and McLaurin. You have one of the top tight ends, and Curtis Samuel. You'll probably take in what?
Fifth, sixth.
That's a little early for me. I was gonna say probably eighth, ninth, maybe.
He won't last that long.
Wait, fifth, sixth though. That's like your third receiver. I don't know if I want him as my third receiver. You know.
I'm also thinking my league. But
Yeah, that's fair. It's different
That's
for
fine.
everyone's leagues. But yeah,
Because
fifth,
PPR
sixth
makes a
round, you're thinking like you're probably picking your flex or your third receiver at that point.
Six,
If you play in a 3-receiver league.
6, 7, that's not bad. I don't think for him.
Yeah.
value-wise.
Yeah.
I don't know if I take him that early. Maybe. It
It's
depends.
But
If he's going there, I'm not taking him.
Yeah.
no,
No.
exactly.
But I could see someone doing that.
I'm not taking him exactly. I
Yeah.
wouldn't take him, but that's.
I was going to originally say like 9th, 10th, but
Yeah, I 6th or 7th, I think, is too early in a 12-team league.
yeah, it's tough. There's going to be a lot of guys that are breakout potential in like the double-digit rounds that are going to fall.
Where do you
And
guys?
some of them
see-
will work and
where
some
do
of
you
them
see
won't.
Devontae Smith going? We said earlier. I know I'm changing a little, but
I don't know
can't
where
Remember, we never said anything. Really.
It's fine. I don't know where he's going, but like, I haven't taken a look
I'd
really.
put Curtis Samuel on his level, probably.
Yeah, you'd
Maybe a little bit above him.
9th, 10th, something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, it's a rookie. That's the thing.
Yeah.
But the other side of the coin of that is he's already their best receiver. So
Right.
it's like
But their QB is also still sort of unproven.
shaky. Yeah,
Exactly.
shaky.
At least as a passer.
Yeah,
Passer, exactly.
yeah.
Opens up the field. We shall see.
It's gonna be fun that some of the throws in that division, like there's the passing in that
The
division.
offense-
It's going to be a very fun division to watch for sure.
Yeah, which it was the worst one last
Last
year.
year.
So overall,
So
like,
where overall are
football-wise.
you ranking all 4 teams? Like where do you think they'll finish this season?
I'd say Washington first. I'm gonna put the Cowboys second. I think a healthy Dak like the whole year. I put him second.
If that doesn't
Yeah,
happen,
that's exactly what I have. And then Eagles and
Eagles and Giants.
If
Yeah,
that doesn't happen, I'm putting Eagles second, regardless.
yeah. Yeah, no, I think that makes sense. You know, I think because again, Cowboys fully healthy Dak, they're at the very least finishing
It's
like
the
second.
Washington football's team's division
take.
to lose.
Right. Yeah. Because they only improved.
Yeah.
Realistically, everyone in the division
Stayed the
improved.
same.
I think they improved.
Yeah.
I think everyone improved a little bit, but they
key-
improved the
key
most for
components.
sure. They had the money to spend. They got their best. It's still crazy to say he's the best quarterback that they've had in that like
RG3 and
since
Kirk Cousins.
yeah, really. Yeah, he's the best one. They got a legitimate, for their standards, number 2 receiver now. Everyone's moved up in that offense a little bit more. Another year of progression. So it's like, yeah, you got to pick them.
So boom bust each team.
Yeah, I want to see who
Or
you guys
however
think.
you're doing it.
But whatever your breakout and bust, I want to hear from you guys. So how we did it last time was obviously quarterback's really easy because there's not many options there for a division. But I want the quarterback, the running back, receiver, and tight end that you think will break out. And it can be the whole division, like not by team, total, everything together at each position, and then the bust for each one too. Like where you think they'll go, are they worth the value or are they not worth the value? So I don't know who wants. You want to start?
I'll go first.
ahead, yeah.
QB, I'd say my breakout is probably Hurts. I think his rushing upside again just gives him a safer floor over everyone.
Right.
QB bust Daniel Jones because he's garbage.
Yep. I think we all
Um,
agree on that
let's see.
pretty much.
Running back, I would say
It's hard with the drafting position now too.
a breakout. I guess I want to say Zeke.
Yeah.
I don't know if you count him as a breakout since he's already being drafted so high.
Do better than what
it's
you
like
expect them to do.
basically
Yeah,
the way,
I think he has the best shot to finish as one of those top 2 or 3 running backs this
right.
year.
Yeah, because the value you're getting him at is probably 6th or 7th at this point.
Yeah,
5th, 6th or
'cause he's-
7th.
Yeah, that's where he's
Max.
being drafted. I
Right.
think he's going to finish
Yeah. No, that's fair.
a
Definitely.
little bit higher
Especially
than
if Kamara hits.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And then bust for running backs, I would probably say Saquon, I guess, but for all the reasons I said earlier.
Right.
2 first-round running backs for you there, but all those running backs in that division are being drafted high. So.
Yeah, for sure.
And then I don't know what's wide
Tight end?
receiver.
Oh, we did receive. Or we didn't do receiver yet. Sorry, go ahead.
Biggest breakout, I would say. Who do I like for a breakout? I guess Terry McLaurin.
Yeah.
He's going kind of 3rd round right now. I could see him finishing like top 6 or 7.
He can honestly make a case for himself, making like with the whole wide receiver situation, he can end up being on the elite side now.
Yeah, for sure.
Like top 5 receiver.
Because his
by
talent
him
is unreal.
Right.
It is
Yeah.
unreal.
I mean, people underestimate how good he's been doing with the
awful-
worst
yeah.
QB
Right.
play. It reminds me of Josh Gordon when he was going
Yeah.
off with different QBs every
Exactly.
week. Like,
Terry reminds
not to
me,
that level,
yeah,
but
I know
yeah.
what you're saying.
yeah.
not situational. I mean, like player wise, like built and like
He's unreal.
just everything that he does. He reminds me a lot of Diggs.
Yeah.
So I mean, he doesn't have that quarterback, but someday maybe he could end up like that level. So he's still young.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And then for busts for a receiver, gotta go Galladay again. I'm just very low on Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
And then tight end, I would say breakout Logan Thomas probably.
Yeah.
I think he's the clear.
Yeah.
Goddard maybe, depends on what happens, that tight end situation. And then busts, maybe Goddard actually. It depends on how that tight end situation plays out. Not knowing that, Ingram is bust potential. Actually, really all of them outside of Logan Thomas have some serious
Yeah.
bust potential.
Yeah, you're
Now
not
that I'm
wrong.
thinking about it.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I'll go, but more or less it's going to relate, but I'm going to challenge it a little.
I'm just
Give it
letting
a
you know
different twist.
before you go. I'm just letting you know right now. I'm heavy Eagle. Like Eagles are like heavily in mine.
Mine
So
too.
go ahead.
So for me, QB, I love Hurts. So Hurts, biggest like boom, like 10th, 11th round, wherever you get him, I think is like nasty.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
I love him. Like you said, running upside. I think he showed some glances that I don't know about in between the numbers, medium range, short range passing. We shall see. He didn't have enough time, but now he's having a lot of practice. But long range, he's definitely got the arm. He threw that.
I
Cardinals
remember.
game.
I remember.
Literally, he threw the ball twice to get it to the end zone, basically. He threw one pass, he got it halfway.
Yeah, those 2 plays like pretty much jumped them up to like 40
And that wasn't
fantasy
his
points. It
fault
was
that
crazy.
they lost the game.
That was
Came
crazy.
to Goddard's face and he just dropped it.
Yeah,
But anyways, so boom, bust for me. Daniel Jones, 100%.
I think that's pretty easy for all of us.
Easy.
Yeah,
Running back,
He might finish like the worst
Yes.
QB,
he could.
it's
depending
possible.
on what happens with the Pats QB situation.
Yeah, it's
Like, if he
possible.
came in
Unless he
for-
has some miraculous, like all of a sudden Daniel Jones, like everything has come together for him this year.
If
I don't
he-
see it happening,
If
but
he
you know what I
can
mean.
kind of
Like,
control like the fumbling situation, he'll kind of make a case back for himself.
but that's
Yeah,
for
I
that's
mean,
for
that
being a
alone
quarterback
would
for the
make a
Giants,
difference.
though, not for fantasy.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
yeah,
So bust that. Wide receivers. I really think CeeDee Lamb, based off where he's being drafted, huge. He can be huge. He can make. I think he's the X factor on that team.
If he overtakes Amari and becomes that number 1
Yeah,
receiver,
that's
he
what I'm
could have huge.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He has the upside for it.
well, yeah, he's going to his second
That's
year,
right.
and look how he looked last year.
I
you
think
know?
he's more likely to finish in the top 10 than Amari is probably.
That's why I'm saying for me, he's my boom. I love McLaurin, but McLaurin's so high up. And based off like the receiving situation, yeah, Devontae's there. I don't trust like in the elite side. McLaurin's right there, right after the top 3, top 4 elite with like D-Hop, Devontae, DK, Jefferson, and who am I missing? Say
Ridley.
Hopkins?
Did you say Ridley?
Ridley, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know if I'm missing him, but like he's right there.
yeah,
He's borderline. He's like a guaranteed rise wide receiver 1. So that's why I'm saying
yeah.
CeeDee Lamb. And I guess for my bust, anyone on Philly.
Anyone on Philly? Okay,
Receiver other than Devontae Smith.
okay, all right.
Like Fulgham.
Yeah, I mean those guys just aren't
Jigger.
probably usable at all. So it's you
yeah,
know.
they're all kind of interchangeable, like
Yeah.
unproven guys.
I think
Like,
they're
you don't know.
like either Rager or Fulgham or worse. Like
I'm sure every week one of them will go off,
off.
but you're never gonna
no
like have a
consistency. That's what I'm
consistent.
saying.
They had the opportunity to have Justin Jefferson
Jefferson
and
and
Devontae Smith together,
Yeah.
but they picked Jalen Reagor instead. But it's fine. Go ahead.
So
It's like
did I say running back? No.
no, you want receiver
Running
first.
back. I think it's finally time. I think Sanders is gonna be the biggest boom.
Okay,
Boom.
Yeah.
Big time.
I agree.
Bust. I personally think because I hate him. Zeke. Bust.
Really?
Bust.
Okay.
I don't trust him. I don't trust the offense. I don't trust the coaching.
Hey, that's your opinion, man.
I
I
hope
can't.
Araz-
I'm not gonna say
I
anything.
hope
Yeah.
Araz is watching.
Oh, maybe you will. Who knows?
But yeah, Zeke is my bust. It sounds weird, but based off what the situations with running backs, I think he can easily finish outside of like the run RB12.
Really?
It's possible.
Yeah.
I can see it.
It's a
Oh,
normal
I think it takes a
possibility.
Dak
if Dak's
injury,
there-
but
no,
yeah.
no, I'm saying even Dak's there, I could still see it happening.
I don't see if everyone's on that team stays healthy. I don't see him finishing that far down. If everyone stays healthy,
I'm not saying he's gonna finish there necessarily, but I'm saying I don't see
You
him.
think that's his floor potential? Okay. Hey, hey.
If everyone stays healthy, I don't see him anywhere. Maybe 7th, 8th running back. That's
All right.
me. That's
Hey.
me. I just hate him. I don't trust him.
Whatever you say, man. It's all your opinion.
Tight end. My ride or die last year. I kicked your ass with Logan Thomas.
Logan Thomas. Yep.
Boom. Like
That's that.
he
Hey.
carried me. After Jonah got hurt last year,
Yeah.
he carried me. So that's that. Bust. I think it's me, Evan Ingram.
Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah.
That's easy. That's
Because
that's
he's draftable.
Yeah.
Like
right.
you're not gonna say Blake Jarwin because he's not really draftable.
Right. Yeah.
So
yeah.
that
We're not even considering Zach Ertz right now because it's
Yeah.
like we don't even know if he's going to be there. But
Right.
if he is, then that hurts both Goddard and himself.
Yeah.
So someone a quarterback that I have to pick is Hurts. That's easy. I'm so high up on him, and obviously bust is Daniel
we all
Jones.
picked Hurts, huh?
Hurts and Daniel
I love
Jones.
Hurts.
It's Hurts and Daniel Jones.
Yeah,
like
it's
we,
kinda easy.
yeah, it's pretty. I mean, I think Fitzpatrick can definitely be the bust
boom.
guy for sure
Yeah.
because
you also can be the boom guy.
He's kind of both at the same time.
time.
That's
Yeah.
what makes him Fitzmagic.
yeah. I think at this
He
point
both
in his
busts
career,
and booms at the same time.
yeah, I just think at this point in his career, I don't know if he's gonna be like the breakout guy,
No,
No.
but he could fall off the cliff. Apparently,
he could be
that's
the
supposed to
QB
be there.
15 if he plays good,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and that's a boom for him.
He'll have a couple 30-point weeks though.
For sure.
probably.
here and
Yeah,
there.
for sure. If they
He's a
get
good
into,
streaming candidate at the very least.
yeah, if they get into a shootout, for sure. I just like it's like I said, like that defense is gonna be like the ground and pound. Like they're
Yeah.
gonna be the ones that lead that team like to win. So I don't know if he needs to have like those gaudy fantasy numbers. You know
That's
that
true.
hurts a lot of them in
It's
my
kind of like
opinion.
Big Ben last season.
Kinda, yeah.
Big Ben didn't do that great as a QB. Like
towards the end, yeah, no, he really didn't. Yeah,
and then their defense saved them.
yeah. There's a lot of
Sorry
there's
about
been a lot. No, there's been a lot of teams like that. So I just think like I don't want to avoid McLaurin and like guys like that, but like I said, like they might not be needed. They might not. They may not need them to do what they needed to do like in the past years.
Be like the Pats defenses.
Right. So with that said, running back, I'm gonna go with Miles Sanders too. It's just I love
You
Miles.
love Sanders.
I've loved Sanders for a few years.
He has the
like,
upside for sure.
He does, and like he has a full year now of practice and
Hurts
everything,
too
and,
now.
right, with a mobile quarterback. Like he didn't have that with Wentz, and Wentz could like run 2 yards and like that was it. Cool, but
Do you have any concerns? Because we all picked Hurts also as our boom.
Yeah.
If his rushing upside is as big as we think, are you concerned with that taking away from Miles Sanders?
I think it's
Because you could have a Kyler Murray,
Murray.
David Johnson situation.
Well,
is what
it
my
worked
mind
with
goes
Kenny
to.
and Drake though, right?
yeah.
I don't know if I would say it worked.
I just-
like borderline.
But the only reason I give him okay, it's good to use, at least in my situation in a PPR league, I think it's fine because Hurts runs, right? He's trying to make a run. Let's see open. Sanders made a case towards the end of the season when he came back last year with Hurts. He can catch.
yeah. I mean,
So I
And
think
just
that
to be clear, Hurts is not as good a runner as
No.
Kyler Murray.
no,
is.
that-
Kyler Murray
no,
is-
that's
not
what I
even
was gonna get to. So.
No, I'm not saying that. But
Yeah.
Concern wise, like no, because you watch Kyler Murray run and he's just like he's like an
He has
ant in
next
there. Like
level
he's
speed.
he's just
this
moving.
guy handles like a basketball
Yeah.
player.
Right, he's moving like that. Hurts is like he's small, he's fast, but like he's not like that guy. So and the big knock with Kyler and his running backs is the red zone.
Yeah.
Like his running backs otherwise do pretty well. He just steals their touchdowns, which is like whatever, you know, like that's
Hurts
gonna
could do
happen.
that too.
He could do
Hurts
that,
could do that.
but I also think Sanders is way better than any running back Kyler Murray's had
Yeah, for
back
sure.
there. Like David Johnson at that point was done.
Yeah.
So, and for the most part, since the mobile quarterback has come into play in football and fantasy, like where it really started with like Cam and everything, like, well, you know, this trend, obviously Michael Vick and all that, but I'm not going that far back. It's like it's helped the running back because you have that threat that the quarterback can do. If the quarterback's going one way, what if the running back goes? You know, it's like you can't stack the box like crazy against just one option. Like you have multiple guys. You know,
Look, you know where it kind of works out. I'm not saying Russell Wilson 10 times better, 20 times better than Hurts as of right now. But Russell Wilson is slowed down as a runner, but he can still run, right? Look how Carson produces. He's not RB. He's guaranteed, in my opinion.
he's steady. He's steady. where he is.
RB2.
Yeah,
So that's what I'm saying. Sanders is as talented, clearly even more talented than Carson
right.
in their offense, and he's gonna be more liable for their offense. Sanders is gonna be more a part of that offense than Carson is for Seattle. So right now, Russell Wilson being like less of a runner, compare it more to like the offense situation, running back QB situation in Philly. I can see Sanders should be fine.
Yeah. And bust, you know, I'm going to go with Gibson just because of where he's going. Like, I like him, but I said it like, I don't know how long I was going on for about that, where I was just saying, you know, that I don't know if he's built for the ground and pound and all that. I like him, and I'll probably end up taking him at the right spot, but I don't know if I'm taking him high to mid second round. Like,
Would
I don't
you
know if he's
rather
worth
have
it.
him or Clyde?
He's gonna say Clyde.
I'd rather have Clyde
just
where he's
curious, yeah.
going. Oh, I'm on the Clyde train. I know.
Yeah.
He did what I did. I took
he
the
did
jet.
that?
And, yeah. Yep.
Oh, that's why you didn't get him.
In that league, yeah. Well, I didn't take him in Mark's league because I got him in the Gen, and thank God I didn't do. I mean, I took Derrick Henry. I wasn't going to take him over Derrick Henry. You know, another league I took him over a couple guys that I do regret, like Dalvin, and I think that was actually really it. That's the only guy I really regret. But I had the 6th pick, I think, in that league, or the 7th, or something like that. So I'm still a Clyde guy for where he's going. You know, he's probably gonna end up being like a late 2nd, early 3rd. I think by the when everything's done, like in draft days
Finished
there.
like RB12, RB10 last season. So
I just think the hype's gonna come, and it's gonna
That's
because
where
it
it
always
is
happens with all these players.
Would you
know,
rather
like
have him or Eckler?
Eckler?
I'm taking
Eckler, yeah.
Yeah.
Eckler and
Highest
the
I like
upside.
Eckler. the same.
Eckler
I'm
late
taking
1st, early 2nd is
Yeah.
I'm taking him at 10th. I think that's the perfect.
that's a good
amount for
yeah in a PPR league for sure. So
I think we're gonna have for the first time like 13 of the first like 15 picks are gonna be running backs.
it's yeah.
You'll have one receiver and Travis Kelce go in the top 15,
Right.
basically.
Yeah, Adams or
That's-
something like
or
that.
Adams, or maybe D-Hop.
Right.
So here's my quick question. We just went after a bus. None of us mentioned where he came close to saying Saquon. Is it just because of like the
He
confusion
said
around-
Saquon.
Did you say Buster Saquon?
Yeah.
Or no? Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah. Saquon was next, but I just
Yeah.
went with Gibson. Just like
Yeah.
I'd rather probably have Saquon than Gibson. That's just me.
Oh, yeah,
like
for
where
sure,
they're
for sure.
going.
Receiver.
Receiver, I'm gonna go Devontae Smith. And again, this is like purely based off of where they're probably going in the draft. You know, I think out of all the receivers, because like I said, like you could say Terry, but he's probably giving you a little more value than where you're taking him. Curtis Samuel, I don't think so. I'm just going around the division. Galladay is my bust. I'm just gonna say it right now. Galladay is my bust, so I'm not gonna even think about him.
The one
Sterling
thing he has
Shepard.
going for him is like in recent years, rookie receivers have been
Right.
doing a lot better than
Right. They
past
have
years.
they have a former connection, like the quarterback and receiver. He's automatically the number one receiving option, you know, and he's a Heisman Trophy winner. Like I have faith.
He's a number target.
I wouldn't
Number
want to
target.
start the season with him,
No.
but if he's the first receiver off my bench, I'm very happy.
Right, but I think his ceiling is like CD's last year.
Yeah.
I'd say like that's a boom for where he's
And in
going.
backstage,
That's a steal for where he's going, especially like I said. if you can
Justin
get this
Jefferson
stat.
had a big rookie
Yeah,
year.
I don't know if he's Jefferson. I wouldn't
no,
say
I
that.
I don't think so either, but
I'd put him at CD.
like that's sort of like the floor
Yeah,
and
look,
ceiling.
right.
He
You
can
know?
get you 600 to 700 yards somehow.
yeah,
That's reasonable.
yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's like
Few
really,
touchdowns.
Look,
That's
that's
yeah,
like
yeah.
he'll look like Nelson Algor from last year.
I put
700 and
his
like 5 or 6
ceiling.
touchdowns.
His ceiling is CD Lamb in my eyes. Devontae Smith this year. I think that's pretty reasonable.
That's good.
Tight
Tight end.
Well, I gotta go I said my bus, Galladay. Tight end. Again, Eagles. I have Goddard. As long as Ertz isn't there. If Ertz isn't there, I Goddard for where he's going to go. Again, because we named all those tight ends. Goddard wasn't one of them when we were going off the Logan Thomas. He's probably going what? 8th, 9th, 10th tight end, maybe? Like, yeah. I mean, with Ertz there for sure, 10th or lower.
Oh,
But without him there, I'd say 8th, 9th, 10th. Yeah. So again, it's asking for a lot to not have like Zach Ertz there, but all signs have pointed to him being gone by the time the
He didn't
season
even play.
starts. So yeah. So I don't know. I think Goddard's probably the breakout. The bust, I'm going Evan Ingram because I've had enough of him. So that's it with that. We just all hate the Giants. I love it. It's awesome. So I went heavy Eagles with that, but it's just those are the young dynamic players that like really can get you over the top in fantasy late in drafts, you know, where you pick them. Because again, Hurts kind of under the, I mean, until you said it, you would take him over Dak. To me, he was under the radar. Devontae's definitely under the radar. I'm telling you, I'm going to remember that one.
That was
like,
huge.
I'm 100% remembering that. And Miles Sanders, when you really think about it, he's the last running back that's going in drafts in that division. Like, he's the 4th running back. People are taking Gibson over him. So, and obviously the other two are going in the first round. So to me, that's a breakout, you know, like that breakout potential. I think he's undervalued and he's under the radar. He was overvalued in past years, obviously, but especially last year. People were taking him like 10th sometimes, 11th last year. So
in my league.
yeah, so that's it for those guys. I mean, I don't know. You guys have anything else you want to talk about? You want to talk about the Patriots? I kind of want to talk about that a little bit. Patriots, the quarterback situation, just real quick, and you guys can 100% say whatever you want based off of this. It's something I'm kind of frustrated about with the Boston like sports media lately. Like especially today, I was watching Beadle and Zoe, and like they weren't really saying it, and no callers were mentioning it when they were talking about the QB battle, and they were already like going at Cam. Like this is going at Cam in a bad way. He can't throw really anymore. He couldn't really ever throw like crazy. He had a strong like mid-range arm, like
His
mid
mid-range
throw.
is good,
Yeah, like slant throws, but he never had a cannon, and now that's down. I'd say his inside the 10s is like probably still up there with how it used to be.
Yeah.
But his whole thing was he could run between the 10s and the 20s. He can't even do that anymore. And no one's saying that. Like, he can't run down the field. Like, that's the problem. Like, that's what's like holding him back the most and holding the team back the most. Like, sure, he can get you to the red, or he can get you touchdowns running within the 10-yard line, but he can't use his legs to get you onto the 10-yard line, within the 10-yard line. And no one's talking about that. It's driving me crazy, you know? Like, I haven't heard that once. and no one's using that example. Like, again, and last year didn't help because he can't throw. He had no receivers.
I think that's a bigger problem than him throwing.
No receivers?
No. Him running is a bigger problem than his arm.
Yeah.
Because you can cater as much as you want. Because he always, like you said, he really never had like that God-gifted like arm talent.
Mm-hmm.
He used to make up with that with his legs. Now he has no legs, like you said. That's a more thing you have to zone in.
I actually like him more at the goal line than I do between the 20s,
of course,
because he still has size.
Right,
He just doesn't have the speed anymore.
Right, that's my point. When you're inside the 10,
You're fine.
cool. Like, as long as he doesn't fumble the ball like he did a couple times, cool. But how are you going to get there?
Right.
You know, like, this year it's probably going to be easier than last year, but it's like that was the
Damian
whole
Harris
thing.
is getting some strong training camp.
Yeah, he was a lot of our
early on.
breakouts last week for running back, or 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago for running back.
For where he's being drafted, I would agree. I mean, he's going, 8th round right now?
6 through 8.
Yeah, I mean,
we were saying
that's a great late round flyer. Someone who's probably going to be the number 1 running back on the team, get a decent amount of volume.
If they can get rid of Sony, that's perfect.
Matthew Berry put him as a do not touch. It's not even worth it.
I mean, it's the Patriots running back thing.
I mean, of course, yeah. Never overdraft
but
the
he did
Patriots
good
running
last
But
back.
talent-wise and everything else,
he's good, but he
he's
said,
probably
do
the
not
best
touch.
running back in the division.
Yeah.
So it's like, we're going to put over Myles Gaskin and LaMichael
Right.
Pirine, like Tevin Coleman.
I would take him as my 3rd or 4th running back in like the 7th or 8th round, something like that.
I'd take him as a flex.
Yeah.
I'd say,
You can
for
use
sure.
him as a flex or like a bye-week fill-in.
Yeah. Anyways, that's really it. We ended up going a little longer than I thought we would, but that was nice. You know,
The NFC East is
It's
one of the most fantasy relevant divisions.
Oh yeah, I
think.
mean, we're looking forward
So there's
to
always a lot to talk about with them.
We're really looking forward to the AFC West. So that's gonna be a lot of fun. So that and probably the NFC West too.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for coming. I really appreciate it. You're gonna be on here multiple times. So
Always a pleasure to be on.
Always.
yeah, thank you. And I just realized, like, I don't have too many weeks. I might have to double up a couple times on teams. Like, I only have, like, 4, maybe 5 weeks, like, left.
If
and
you're lucky.
Yeah, and there's not
Then
that many
You always got to
divisions.
do a couple of mock draft shows before.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm going to have
It
to.
finishes the 25th, I think, the preseason,
I'm
right?
going to have to dig into the bank
like
account
that,
and
yeah.
pay for these videos, man. Oh, my God. It's not going to be fun. But anyways, yeah, it'll be fun, but not fun at the same time for my bank account. Thanks, guys. I'll see you next time.